Today we are looking at people I cannot stand, the family vloggers. This video is by Illuminaughtii, naughty as in naughty, right? Nice and naughty. So Illuminaughtii, I watched one of their videos, and I usually would not watch a channel with the name Illuminaughtii in it, right? Pyramid, Illuminaughtii. I'm like, this is gonna be some conspiracy nonsense. I'm gonna hate this. I'm just gonna see in the comments a bunch of, wake up sheeple, right? So I figured that was gonna be this kind of channel, but I saw a video. I was like, I kind of want to check this out, and I was like, it's actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. So I want to check out some of these videos. 1.59 million subscribers. Go subscribe to them. Hit the bell, like the video. And so this is called, as you can see, Making Money Off Children's Pain, Family Vloggers. Oh my god. Family vloggers suck so much ass. Okay? They suck. Maybe not all of them, okay, but a lot of them do. Alright, and people who force their kids to grow up in this reality TV setting, just every part of their lives, just film it, so that millions of people can see it, right? And they have to grow up with this idea that millions of people are watching them, right? Everything they do, all their breakups and everything that goes on in their life, they have to be filmed. I imagine that would be shitty growing up too. All of a sudden you grow up, you get older, and all your memories are of millions of people watching you. I don't know. I'm not saying all of them are bad, okay? I'm assuming not all of them are bad. I don't know much about them. I know the ones that I hate, and there's been some really bad ones too. Like ones that probably aren't what this video is going to be about. Probably going to be about the typical ones. Their other video was really good, really good. So they were not the kind of channel I was expecting. So hopefully that holds true for this video.
Do you remember America's Funniest Home Videos? Like,
yes.
Yeah, they're still around, and their videos are still pretty popular. But
they're
before
still
YouTube
doing stuff?
and TikTok, they were the go-to place to post mildly humiliating videos of your family members or kids getting up to no good. I feel like just about everyone has a video like that somewhere, whether it's deep in the bowels of the internet or on a dusty VHS in your parents' attic. We've all got those childhood memories we don't want the world to see. Maybe it was the first time you tried a whole ass lime and made a disgusted face before shrieking and chucking it into the sink. Maybe you tripped up the stairs at a school recital and managed to fall on your clarinet in front of the whole class.
This is the fun stuff, right? Like America's Funniest Home Videos, if I remember right, nothing was. I mean, I'm sure they had something. Most companies seem to have something behind them, some hidden secrets. But on the surface, sitting in some videos of an embarrassing thing your family did or your pet or kids. I don't think that's going to be the topic here. I think she's going to talk about the evolution of that. I don't think that's necessarily I don't think she's saying that's bad. It's not bad to have a funny video of But the family vloggers, that's a whole different evolution of that concept.
Yep, great memories, right? Now imagine that all of those memories had millions of views, that the internet was watching you grow up in real time, and there was absolutely nothing you could do to stop it. Well, this is the unfortunate concept behind family vlogging. If you can't tell from this introduction, I don't support the entire genre as a whole. Even without being familiar with family vlogging, just a quick glance at a few popular family vloggers will give you a hint as to why so many people don't approve. The Ace family has about 18 million subscribers on YouTube, and in the past 2 months as of writing this, they have had 2 episodes based on Catherine, the mother of the family, saying she was leaving them. One video is called That's It, I'm Leaving, and the other is Catherine is Leaving Us. Now, obviously it's just for a vacation, but the video literally opens with her daughters sobbing and saying they're going to miss her. Like, why would they clickbait that a mom is leaving her family to an audience of children? Or in another case, they claim to have let their dog go when, again, it's only temporary. It just feels off, right? But
yeah, that's ridiculous. I just saw PewDiePie. I just saw that a few hours ago, maybe just an hour ago. He posted a video about his dog, but his dog Maya, I think it was Maya, died. Rest in peace, Maya. That's a very different thing. But like, yeah, the clickbaitiness of the and the thing is, they clickbait their kids too, essentially. clickbait, right? A lot of times they'll make their kid think something when it's not actually a thing just to get a reaction, because that's what gets clicks, reactions. That's what I hate is manufactured reactions, fake reactions. I like, obviously, reacting to stuff. I like that. It's enjoyable to me. It's enjoyable for me to watch that stuff, legitimate reactions and commentary on things. Like, getting your kids to cry and shit and film it because, yeah, people want to see my kid cry. How sadistic do you have to be to do shit like that? It's wild. But then YouTube keeps that, right? They make a lot of money on that, but oh, somebody cursed, demonetize them. We care so much about cursing. We care that somebody said a word. We don't care about that, child abuse is going on. We don't care about that. But we care that, somebody said a word, because we were taught as kids that there's such a thing as bad word. Now we got to take money away from those people, but hey, keep all this wave of child abuse going.
Of course, because we're on this channel, it gets worse. Austin, the father of the Ace family, has also spanked his daughter on video. Not as a punishment, but apparently in like a sexual manner. He told the camera that he's been working out, flexed, posed, and slapped his own behind before turning to spank his young daughter. But there's so much more than just one toxic family. The LeBrant family has about 13 million subscribers on YouTube, and they too have come under fire for questionable and downright disgusting content. Videos like pranking their young daughter by saying they had to give the family dog away, or lying to their audience when they pretended their toddler had cancer. Like, yeah, quality content right there. Not only have they literally clickbaited cancer, but they've stood by their decisions, compared abortion to the Holocaust, and continued to make some pretty questionable content overall, but again, mostly centered around their children. And these are just two of some of the most...
Yeah, have you noticed the people who do that kind of stuff know nothing about science? There's always the people going on and on about that stuff, like that know nothing except talking points. If all you can do is parrot talking points, you don't know what you're talking about.
Most notorious channels out there. And while I'm sure there are plenty of good-intentioned family vloggers, there is just so much that can go wrong. After all this, you might ask, well, why can't anyone stop it? Can't the kids just refuse to be filmed? Don't they have any rights? And the short and unfortunate answer here is no, they don't. 18-year-old adults have spoken.
I hate it when parents treat their kids like they own them. That's not what having a kid is. That's not what raising a kid is. Having a kid doesn't mean, they're individuals. Raising them does not mean, acting like they're not their own person with their own likes, interests, and rights. Okay? That's not what being a parent is. If that's what you think being a parent is, you should not have kids.
With some even suing their parents for blasting their entire childhood on social media. Posting what they
fuck
argue
yeah.
are inappropriate pictures in the
sue the fuck out of them, bro.
Process. But kids, even if they have the self-awareness to ask their parents to please stop posting about them, have little to no recourse here. One of these stories made it to the Washington Post a few years back in 2019 when mommy vlogger Christine Tate was confronted by her 4th grade daughter. Christine's daughter demanded to know why her name and photos of her were online. Why was her mother telling the world her most embarrassing stories, her most difficult struggles?
The kid didn't even know it.
She asked her mother to stop. Christine's response? Well, she told the Washington...
My daughter asked me to stop writing about motherhood. Here's why I can't do that. Because money, bro. Money's more important than my kid.
Post that...
What a shit mom. What's her name? Christy Tate?
Christine's response? Well, she told the Washington Post that while she might give her daughter a heads up and allow her to veto some pictures, Christine is, quote, not done exploring my motherhood in my writing.
Might allow her. Might.
And that's all well and good for you, Christine, that you're not done exploring your motherhood. But why does that have to come at the expense of your daughter's privacy? Because here's the thing, if the blog really is just for her to explore her motherhood, why can't that be done in a private journal? Well, the answer is the same as for why these family vloggers don't keep their videos private. Money and validation. These parents want the world to see their kids, whether to show off, get approval.
You know those people that can't stop fucking talking about their kids? Always have to talk about their kids? Just recently on Facebook, I saw one of those idiots that it was about IQ. It was just the post was about something about IQ, and they're like, my kid has a high IQ, and just going on and on, like she had something to prove to everybody on Facebook. I can back it up. My kid's super smart. It's like, shut the fuck up about your kid. Somebody once told me, some guy was like, I don't want to be one of those guys that go on about their kids, but you want to see my kids? It's like, no, I don't. right? This is just the very extreme version of that, where it's like, yes, I need everyone to see my kids, and I need all this validation and bullshit. It's like, no, shut up. Except this time, yeah, I guess millions of people do want to see your stupid kids. How sad do you have to be to subscribe to a channel like that? How fucking sad and pathetic do you have to be? God damn, stop being pathetic.
In money, or most likely, a little bit of a mix of everything. And this young fourth grader can't do shit about it. Unfortunately, the issue of rights goes beyond the fact that these kids don't have the mental capacity to understand the consequences of putting their lives on the internet in the first place. But even the kids that do end up famous have more rights than them. You see, child actors get paid, they have legal protections, they're not permitted to work more than 8 hours a day, more than 40 hours per week, and they can't work more than 6 full-time weeks per year. Not unless they're granted special permission by the Labor Department and an employment certification from the Bureau of Working Conditions. Now, a lot of this may also depend on age and state, but the point remains there are some standards set in place here. But is this the same for family vlogging? No, it's not. Even if family vloggers earn a ton of money posting on YouTube, there's no guarantee the child.
And in movies and shit, there's editing, right? When a child is crying and stuff, when someone's being mean to a child in a movie, there's the magic of editing. With a scene with a kid, the kid might not even be in half that scene, but it just appears that they are. They might not even be on the set with a lot of that. It's just the magic of editing makes it look like. But you can be mean to a child, you can cause them to cry and all this stuff, and they don't edit all that shit. It's just right there, real life, just abusing that kid.
Child will see a dime of it, despite it being their faces and their lives that earned their parents the money in the first place. So yeah, sure, there may be family vloggers out there that do it right, that don't overwork their kids and put some of the money earned into a fund for their children, but there's no denying that this dynamic right from the onset is toxic and dangerous. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, there should be laws about that where the money, if you're using your kids, the money legally goes to a fund for your kid. You can't spend it, you can't do anything with it. They get that.
Everyone, and welcome to the Corporate Casket. I'm the Illuminati, and today we're obviously going to be talking about social media family vloggers.
Sorry.
Show Catherine what you have in your hand. Show Catherine. Show her. She says a lollipop.
We're going to go ahead and start with the Ace family because we already mentioned them earlier, and chances are if you know anything about the family vlogging world, you've definitely heard of them before. Now, let me preface this by saying that there is no possible way I'm going to be able to talk about all of their scams and controversies. The truth is, they have a very unique range of controversies. They range from racist and sexist tweets to allegedly faking robberies to a range of controversies. They range from racist and sexist tweets to allegedly faking robberies to having a scammy monthly subscription app and to like taking kids to a sex shop to buy them a phallic lollipop. I think you get the idea. Instead, I want to hone in and focus on the ethics of their family vlogging, or in this case, the lack of ethics. Do they actually have their kids' best interest at heart, or is it their wallets? Let's take a look. One recent scandal seems to suggest the latter, but in a rare twist, the Ace family wasn't scamming anyone. They were actually the ones getting scammed. In their lengthy video called Our House Story that went on their channel in November 2021, Austin and Catherine explained that the contractor they hired to work on the home hadn't actually been licensed. They were using someone else's license, and the couple was unaware. The contracting team basically screwed them, as the couple put it, meaning that they were there without gas the entire time they lived there, which was nearly 2 years. Now, the question here is, why does that matter? Like, who cares if their multi-million dollar mansion had issues? It just kind of feels like justified karma, right? Well, the problem is that if they were actually without heat, that means their kids were without heat too. This isn't a situation where the family couldn't afford to pay the bill, and, the Ace family was living in a multi-million dollar home that just didn't have basic fucking necessities for their kids. Like, if you want to live that way for whatever reason, go on and do that, you're an adult, but to do that to your children is really uncomfortable. Now, around this time, tabloids and other similar websites jumped on the situation and said that the family had allegedly committed mortgage fraud. Rumors swirled that the Ace family used shady methods to get their home and they'd gone into default on payments. They were on shaky ground, right? And what did they do? They apparently clickbaited their son's injury. Yeah, that's the reaction the Ace family had when all eyes were on them, wondering why they weren't ensuring their kids had heat. Make a video called Steele Got Hurt Bad on Camera So Unexpected with a photo of
Like she said, all eyes are on you. They're like, oh, we need some money, so let's do some clickbaity shit, get some views. I mean, look at these views, almost 3 million on each one with our new dog Bit, you know, the kid. And like, dude, why do people like this shit? I mean, I saw that top one to check out family vlogging in general. But I'm not sitting here like watching these like, oh yeah, when's the next upload, bro? When's the next time the kid gets hurt? I want to see that shit.
their son Steele bleeding and falling down. And I'm sorry, but to be frank here, what the fuck? What kind of parent continues to film their child when his gums are bleeding and his sisters are crying because they're worried about their brother? Like, no.
Just for curiosity, I'd love to know the political views of most of the people who follow shit like this. Just out of curiosity.
The kid wasn't hurt that badly like the thumbnail suggests, but I'd say that doesn't make anything better. When you see a young kid with their mouth covered in blood, you're probably going to be concerned. And the Ace family knows this and they profit from it. And it's really upsetting. When your first instinct is to film instead of comfort your child, something's wrong, and you don't have to be a parent to know that. I mean, aside from keeping your kids in a house with no heat and their children having to have cold baths, plus filming when a child is hurt, there's also the fact that these parents treat people like garbage. Allegations that Austin McBroom has raped a woman and consistently cheated on his wife, even pressuring the woman he sleeps with to sign NDAs, have been circling the internet for quite a while now. They are only allegations, so I can't say how true they are, but there's a lot more. He's also been criticized for hosting a boxing event, only to take home a $1 million prize while other influencers and participants didn't receive a payment weeks after the event took place. They also held a charity basketball event, but only donated $75,000 instead of the $100,000 they originally promised. On top of all of this, it seems to be the case that they made a profit off of the event, which you can account for ticketing, merch, and livestream sales too. Unable to keep the spotlight away, the following year, when a random fan was chosen from a crowd to win $100,000 in a shootout, Austin again faced criticism once it was revealed that the so-called random fan was actually just a longtime friend of his. So I think you could see why
I don't get why people make people like this is so big. I don't get it. Why? Like, why is there an ocean of people out there waiting to prop people like this up? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. If Penguins Zero, Charlie White, aka Moist Critical, if he acted like this, he'd probably have more subscribers than he already does. Why do people like that kind of shit? Why? It makes no sense to me.
I couldn't go over every single one of their pieces of controversy, drama, or supposed scam.
It's nice to know Charlie's out there, though. I mean, there's a lot of awesome people on YouTube who are really big, like, considered the really big people. There's a lot of awesome people. It's not just shitty people who get big. It's nice to have people like Charlie out there, like, you know what? You can be a good person and make it.
We'd certainly be here for a while. But the point to all of this is the same. The Ace family has set an example for their kids that sure doesn't seem to be a positive one. In their world, money comes first. Money comes before privacy, integrity, and transparency. Pushing boundaries to get what they want, whether that's using questionable titles, thumbnails, and filming injuries, it's just part of their daily life. And hey, maybe they started their channel with good intentions, just to make silly videos together. But only a glance at their channel now, and it certainly doesn't seem that way anymore. But they're not alone, not by a long shot.
I think what Jim's trying to say is that after multiple assessments, after multiple evaluations, numerous medical professionals have felt that he needed a different fit in his medical needs.
Again, regardless of if you're familiar with family vlogging or not, you've also probably heard of the Stauffer family. For those of you that don't recognize the name, they're the family that adopted and then gave up their son Huxley. And to use the exact language, they rehomed their son, something that people use as terminology when they have to give up a pet, but sure, apply rehoming to a child. This event pushed family vlogging into the limelight because it seemed like another prime example of someone that cared about money and publicity more than family. A brief recap for those of you that don't know. In 2020, Micah and James Stauffer announced that they were giving up their son Huxley after having spent about 3 years documenting their journey adopting him from China. Huxley has autism, and the Stauffers explained that his special needs were simply too much for them to handle. Now, let me...
Yeah, he you know, his autism and stuff, it kind of just got old, and, you know, people weren't tuning in as much, so we kind of want to go with another child now, you know, get those views back up.
Let me make a few things clear right off the bat. Sometimes kids aren't a match for a home placement and they end up going back into the system. It is sad, but it does happen. Rehoming is not an extremely unusual event, unfortunately. Hopefully, it can be avoided if the parents receive proper training and a child is slowly introduced into their home. But I'm not saying that anyone is a monster because they decide adoption isn't right for them. It's better to decide that a child would be better placed somewhere else than to keep them and resent them or be unable to care for them. However, what did make the Stauffer family the monsters here isn't that they rehomed Huxley, but it's the fact that they made it so public and so damn profitable. In my opinion, there were red flags from the start.
Yeah, seriously, give some of that money to that kid. That's literally stealing from that kid, because people tuned in not for them, but because of the kid. If there was no kid there, people wouldn't have tuned in. All that money, or majority of it, should go to the kid.
Their attitude came across as, I know this term is a bit overused at times, but it is pretty textbook here. It came across as like a white savior complex. Whether or not it was Micah and James's intention, the whole narrative around Huxley's adoption felt, for many, to be one of the "we're rescuing this child from a foreign country." Micah also used language saying that God softened her heart and encouraged her to adopt a child with special needs, which,
Oh God, it's like every politician. Let me just throw God in there and make people go, oh, they said Jesus and God. That means they're good people. Because I can't think beyond a fucking meme level, bit of intelligence here. They said Jesus. They're such good people. I like them. Fucking hell, you just say Jesus and all these people just swoon, dude. They just swoon. Like, you could be the most evil person, but you say Jesus. Oh, he's such a good person.
again, it just makes my skin crawl. Because the reality is, when you adopt a child, no matter the circumstance, you should never be doing it for self-congratulatory reasons. Do not do it to get praise from others or to be told, wow, you're so amazing or you're so brave, because that's so unfair to the child. It paints them as a burden that you're like some saint for taking them on. No child should ever be made to feel that they're lucky that someone wanted them. Kids deserve families and unconditional love. That's the bare minimum. Now, while around 1 to 5% of adoptions are legally dissolved, sometimes because adoption agencies fail to properly disclose information about a child, the publicity around this dissolution also reeked of a self-entitled attitude. Huxley's entire adoption process made a lot of money for the Stauffer family channel, considering that they documented it for
Sorry, let me move my thing here.
for 3 years. Susan Soonkiem Cox, Vice President of Policy and External Affairs for Holt International, an agency that merged with the one used to adopt Huxley, specifically advises against this. According to Cox, when you publicize an adoption like this, it not only perpetuates the idea of lesser that white families need to save foreign children, but it can jeopardize the adoption too. It's not just discouraged, but in some cases, it's prohibited for safety reasons. Micah didn't just decide to post a few pictures here and there, but vlog Huxley's life for profit. She would even join Facebook groups around adoption and ask people to follow her and like her videos. Some of the videos were about his mental prognosis. Some talked about his struggles with food insecurity, as hoarding and fixating on food is a relatively common issue for adopted and foster kids. And others discussed his communication challenges. But the thing here is, Huxley didn't ask for this. He didn't ask for a mother that told the world how hard it was to stomach his autism diagnosis. He didn't ask to have a camera shoved in his face. The thing is, we all know that growing up, we probably presented our parents with certain challenges. I know I sure did. But imagine that as an adult, you found a video of your own mother telling her followers that God gave her a bit more than she knew what to do with when you were struggling. That's something you share with a therapist, a journal, a close confidant, but not the whole fucking world. If Micah wanted to tell her audience that she was adopting and it was presenting challenges that she was talking through with a professional, that's okay. Maybe someone can relate to that and find solace in it. But to detail those challenges and put Huxley's fits online, for fuck's sake, there should be a line somewhere. And wherever it was most certainly crossed here. Now, truthfully, I could just talk about these two families and literally wrap it up and
And you know, when they were talking about that stuff, they were not thinking about the kid. You can guarantee that they were not thinking about the kid as they were crying. They're like, "Oh, I need a fake cry so I can get more clicks and views and more sympathy in the comments and people telling me how awesome I am and how sad it is." And you know they weren't thinking about the kid. You know they were forcing those reactions. Fucking abysmal, dude.
call it a day because these two issues from these two vlogging families are bad enough. But as per usual, there is more we have to discuss because it isn't just a two-family problem. This seems to be a problem with family vloggers in general.
Go like this. No, Mom, I'm actually seriously trying. No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this.
Just forget to edit that out, or what's going on there? I hate that shit, bro. Reaction and I feel is different than commentary, but we lump it all together in reaction. So a lot of people think reaction stuff is completely bullshit because they don't know that good reaction stuff exists. Anyway, yeah, like that stuff, I hate that stuff. The oh, we gotta act a certain way for the camera, and it's gonna get people to like us more. And I hate fake reaction stuff. I hate it. It's so stupid.
Now, of course, for Nikki and Dan Philippi, they refused to adopt from Thailand because of the strict regulations around putting kids on social media. I guess for them, the idea of not being able to profit off of a child is just too hard for them to bear.
Come on, bro. Thailand's awesome, by the way. Thailand's awesome. A lot of awesome people over there. I guess you could say that about any place. There's awesome people and not awesome people. But
Philippi's explained that Thai law restricts the release of an adopted child's info, photos, videos, and films to mass media, like YouTube. This would be questionable enough because it sure doesn't seem like they're adopting for the right reasons, but this isn't what actually threw them into the spotlight. You see, once Nikki and Dan had a child of their own, they realized that he wasn't getting along with their dog, Bowser. According to them, their bull terrier had a bit of an aggressive side and had bitten their son Logan. After what they called a lot of counsel, they decided to just put their dog down. And again, this whole fucking horrific journey was posted every single painful step of the way. Making it even worse is the fact that Logan was unintentionally teasing the dog by taking some of Bowser's food, so it didn't seem as if this dog was nipping for no reason either. Logan had also hurt their dog's ear, so is it any wonder that the dog might be defensive when their kid was hurting it? I mean, their baby hurt their dog, but they weren't about to put the baby down, right? Of course not. That would be ridiculous. Their baby didn't know any better. So why is it any different that they were so quick to put down their dog? It just seems like they were not properly training their dog or their kid, or if they had been...
So many people do that, bro. They don't properly train their dog, or they take more anger out on the dog than necessary because they expect their dog or their puppy, right, to have not only human level of intelligence, but adult human level intelligence. Just like a lot of people expect their kids to have adult level intelligence, and they react that way. A dog chews something up, a puppy doesn't understand yet, it chews something up, and they get mad at it based on the fact that, oh, it chewed this thing up, so I'm this level mad at it based on the thing it chewed up, not based on that it doesn't understand the difference between a piece of cardboard and that thing. And they take their anger out on the dog. The way somebody treats their kid or their pet shows so much about their intelligence level. So fucking much about their intelligence level. And yeah, this was clearly just to they've clearly put the dog down just because it would get views, because it would lurch them into the spotlight. It's so dumb, dude.
Then I guess that was one thing that they just so happened to not share with the world on social media. And I feel like they absolutely would have put dog training on their channel to show the world how amazing and responsible they are if they were willing to have a fucking, hey, we're about to put you down, goodbye forever photo shoot, but that's just my opinion. And by the way, that is the thing they did. They did a photo shoot right before they put the dog down too. It's just so cruel, so inhuman, so tone deaf, it's disgusting. Anyway, at the end of all of this, a dog was put down that, to the rest of the world, seemed like he could have been easily rehomed. This wasn't exactly the only fault people found with this couple, though. They also spread anti-mask, anti-vax, and anti-BLM values on their channel. They were
Of course. That, and I assume most people who watch this kind of shit, are those kind of people. People who don't understand anything about science or politics or anything, but read a meme and think, I know everything. I'm so much smarter than this person who analyzes books and all this other. I'm so much smarter than all these other people because I read a meme and I have a feeling. But facts don't care about your feelings. But that's all I go off of is my feelings. But I say facts don't care about your feelings, and that makes me feel better about my opinion coming from my feelings. It's just stupid people. I assume most people who watch this kind of stuff are those kind of people, just dumb, empty-headed fucks.
exposed, and deservedly so. The Ace family, Stoffers, and Philippes all had giant falls from grace because the facade was ripped right off of their wholesome family image. But there are also family vloggers that, frankly, have never been all that happy and wholesome. From the very beginning, the Daddy of 5 YouTube channel made disturbing, dark videos that they called pranks with their children. But these were no pranks, let me make that clear. This was pretty much straight up child abuse, screaming and swearing at their kids until they cried. The parents claimed it was all supposed to be family fun, but as the views climbed, they started pushing that shock value. The way these parents treated
Yeah, that's what most families do, right? They don't have like board game night or movie night. They just scream until kids cry, right? Oh, is this that family that says straight up abuse? Just straight up. It's not even like gray area. Well, these others aren't really gray areas either if you have a fucking brain. But yeah, this was straight up not a gray area at all.
their kids, encouraging siblings to hit one another, slamming their kids into the ground.
Like, do not go watch this shit. If you're easily just sick to your stomach with this kind of stuff, don't go watch.
Crossed a line from prank to abuse long ago. Some of their compilations are honestly really hard to watch. Like I've said before, I'm not a huge kid person, but holy fuck, seeing the utter torture and screaming and hell that the Daddy of 5 kids went through, especially Cody, it's painful. And
Yeah,
it
Cody got
really
the worst
hurts
of
to
it.
watch. Because again,
He's with his mom
no
now, though.
child deserves to be treated this way. And you don't need to be a parent to see that this isn't parenting, at least not good parenting. The Daddy of 5 parents in the case, if you can even call them parents, were sentenced to probation for their neglect, and their 2 children, Cody and Emma, were taken away. While I'm sure that there are some family vloggers out there with the best of intentions, there's just so many infuriating ones that it's just impossible to ignore. There's also another vlogging family called the Prince family. They posted a video about 3 years ago called CPS Took Our Kids From Us Seafood Boil Mukbang, which is...
Hey, you know, we're just gonna gather around this seafood boil and talk about CPS taking our kids away. Like, that's how this is the appropriate environment to talk about that kind of shit, right? Around a boil, doing a mukbang. What the fuck?
Quite a title. Now, it has been removed, but you might know this family from a 2019 scandal where the father of the family told his newborn daughter that he thought she was going to have pretty eyes instead of brown eyes, which not a great look, criticizing your newborn's appearance. Jordan Cheyenne also faced the...
Oh yeah, that's not gonna grow up to be a terrible relationship between you two. Wow, holy fuck! Imagine a newborn baby, dude. You have a newborn baby, and the first thing you focus on is the eyes not being what you consider pretty. What the hell? Imagine being that kind of person. Imagine being with that kind of person.
Justified wrath of the internet when she posted a video explaining how sick the family dog was, only to accidentally leave in a portion at the end where she told her son to pose for a thumbnail and act like he's crying. Her son said, "No, Mom, I really am crying," to which she continues to pose, make faces, and seemingly fake comforting him for a good clickbaity picture. Just charming behavior. And as a side note, it's really wild to talk about Jordan Cheyenne in particular because I think back in like 2015 or 16, I actually used to be subscribed to her channel like way before YouTube was ever a thing for me. And I think she used to do like haul videos and stuff like that and makeup and like, you know, just general positive girly femme content. And I wondered what had happened to her. So when this popped up and I like saw her back in the news again and saw that it was over like drama and stuff, I was like, holy shit. I didn't even know YouTube had unsubscribed me from her, but apparently YouTube did the right thing on that because she's clearly not making content for me. Like, I'm not her demographic anymore. I don't know, I guess that's just a personal note because she used to be someone that I used to subscribe to. I don't subscribe to many channels, so like the ones that I subscribe to, I guess, you know, I hold them up just a little higher on a tiny little pedestal to be like, I really like this person, and it was just disappointing that now someone that I used to actually enjoy their content is someone I'm now talking about. Now,
speaking of which, if you enjoy Illuminaughti's content, go sub to Illuminaughtii, hit the bell, and like the video, and comment something crazier than these family vloggers.
Now, insulting remarks and frequent filming may be one end of the spectrum, but Daddy-O5 and 8 Passengers is the other end. Apparently, the vlog 8 Passengers run by Ruby and Kevin Frank has vlogged some incredibly personal moments, from having the talk with their kids to puberty appointments and their daughter's first period. They allegedly forced their son to sleep on a beanbag for 7 months as punishment. They've brandished scissors at their kids and threatened to cut the heads off their stuffed animals, and repeatedly ignored their children's request to not be filmed. Now, I could go on and on about this, really, and honestly, it's pretty obvious there's a lot to talk about. Every single...
How do couples like this end up together? Like how do they seek them out, each other out? Like, do you know they're this kind of person before you have kids? And then you have kids and like, yeah, we're gonna be so sadistic to these kids. Do you talk about that before you have kids? Like, how do they end up together and then suddenly, oh, hey, you're sadistic? Oh yeah, I'm sadistic. You're sadistic too? Yeah, let's be sadistic to these kids. Like, what the fuck?
One of these families could have their own episode because they've all done some incredibly disturbing and abusive things in their own way. Even if many parents have good intentions, the fact that this happens so frequently and that vloggers like this are permitted to thrive on YouTube proves that something does need to change. Channels moving in these dangerous directions need more severe monitoring. And these kids need rights, but how do we even make that happen? Now, before we go on to talk about some social media influencer laws, especially surrounding kids and other things that can potentially be done to help curb exploitation, I'm going to go ahead and place the sponsor here just as close as I can to the end of today's episode. So, ta-da, there was no other place for it, sorry. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch.
Mint Mobile, go check. She probably has a link in her video. Go check Mint Mobile. I don't know anything about them, but hey, go check it out. She has a link probably, I imagine.
/casket.
Look, you want to care about me? You want to love me? You want to like me? So just go! Why are you still here? Just go!
I do like you. I gotta get you.
Social media influencer laws, especially surrounding kids, are pretty new. Chris McCarty, who was 17 as of TechCrunch's article in April of this year, is one of the ones spearheading laws that would help protect kids that are part of family vlogs in particular. McCarty and Washington State Representative Emily Wicks created House Bill 2023, which would ensure that any child featured in these high-earning vlogs has a trust set aside for them when they turn 18. Plus, once they become an adult, these children in these vlogs have the right to request that the content be removed. Of course, we do know the internet is forever, and I'm sure that these vlogs will still exist in reactionary videos and compilations on other channels, but having some say in what they're featured in would be a massive step forward in this situation. As McCarty explained, one of the biggest problems with this entire situation is the lack of advocacy. These kids often can't and wouldn't know where to begin to even, start sticking up for themselves. Child actors in Hollywood have laws that require parents to create trust accounts, so why should vloggers be any different? Given the multi-million-dollar mansions that we've seen some of them live in, they're clearly earning enough that they definitely should not be exempt, and their kids are clearly working when they're featured in these steady streams of uploads. But a trust fund really is only the first step. It's a great step, absolutely, and I'm hopeful that other states will follow suit and put this into place. Unfortunately, I can imagine that enforcing this might be an absolute headache too, and this still doesn't address the inappropriate content and clickbait that's been popular on YouTube for years now. Truthfully, I don't know if there's an easy solution to this. All I can say is that if you see content like this, don't consume it. Tell your representatives to find solutions. The level of exploitation we've seen is absolutely dangerous, and these kids can't speak up for themselves. In my opinion, the genre falls in too much of a murky area, and it's too easy to become toxic. Until changes can actually be made to protect the kids involved, I can't support family vloggers whatsoever. But those are all just my opinions, my thoughts, and a very brief overview on a new part of a burgeoning social media industry that I think has more than one red flag. So thank you for making it through the end of today's episode. I do hope that you learned something new today. And if you did, make sure that you're liking, following, and subscribing, all the good stuff to stay updated every time I upload
subscribe,
a new episode.
and comment on her
I know
stuff.
things you could be doing in your busy day, and yet you.
So this was a good video. See, she makes good stuff. Not disappointed again. So yeah, usually I wouldn't pay attention to someone with Illuminati in the name, but she does really good stuff, and I really want to check out some more because her stuff is really good. But yeah, family vloggers, man, like again, like she said, like I said in the beginning, there's probably some good ones out there. I don't watch that nonsense anyway. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you be a voyeur on these kids? Like, what kind of creep are you? There's so many goddamn creeps out there. Like, why do you care so much about these other kids? Why? It's weird. It's so fucking weird. But anyway, yeah, these kids do need representation, and something needs to happen. Because, I mean, it's an industry. It's just like the movie industry. It's an industry, except they don't get to go home at the end of the day and take a break from it. They are home, and that's, it's any time. It could be at night. It could be any fucking time. The parents decide, oh, this would be a good opportunity. It's fucking wild and it's pathetic. There's a difference between making a funny video and then making a living off your kid like that. Anyway, if you didn't know anything about family vlogging, this was a nice little glimpse into it. Stay tuned. I want to check out more from iilluminaughtii.